Hi, the question will appear on your screen in few seconds. Please pause this video to solve the question on your own, and once you are done, resume the video to check the solution. So here is the question. Let's now start with passage analysis. Infotech, a computer manufacturer in Ketrovia. So Infotech is a computer manufacturer where in Ketrovia has just introduced. So Infotech has just introduced. Just means it is a recent thing. It has recently introduced something. What is it? A new personal computer model that sells for significantly less than any other model. So Infotech has just introduced a new personal computer model, and how is it different from the existing models? This one sells for significantly less than any other model. So it has a price advantage that makes it different from the existing models. Let's read further. Market research shows. So now we are going to read something about the market research, something that we get to know from the market research. However is a contrast word. So we'll get to read a contrast. Let's see what the contrast is. That very few Ketrovian households without personal computers would buy a computer regardless of its price. So the contrast that has been presented is about Ketrovian households without personal computers. We are talking specifically about Ketrovian households that do not already have a personal computer, and the contrast is that very few of them would buy a computer irrespective of its price. So whether it is expensive or it is not expensive, these households are not very likely to buy a new PC. So, what is the contrast here? This is something that we get to know about these Ketrovian households without personal computers. But why has it been presented as a contrast? This is something that you need to think. So, the first statement tells us that there is a new PC model and the price of this model is significantly less compared to the other prices. Then we get to know something about these Ketrovian households that do not have a PC, without PC. What do we get to know about them? Very few of them would buy a PC irrespective of price. And this has been presented as a contrast. So, why is it a contrast? If this is a contrast, it means that this information is not meeting some expectation, right? So, there was an expectation in between when this new model was launched. There was an expectation that these households that do not have a PC would buy this new PC. Would buy this new PC. Why? Because it costs less, significantly less compared to the other models. So there was this expectation, and because the market research shows that this expectation is not being met, that is why it has been presented as a contrast here. So this is the logic used till here. All right, let's read further. Therefore, so we have our conclusion now. Introducing the new model, so this action is unlikely to increase the number of computers in Ketrovian homes. So here we have the conclusion, and the conclusion is this particular action of introducing the new model is not likely to increase the number of computers in Ketrovian homes. Will not increase. So the conclusion is specifically about the number of computers in Ketrovian homes. It is not about the sales of these new PCs or the profit generated from this. It is not about any other aspect. It is specifically about number of computers in Ketrovian homes. Now, while understanding the passage, we understood the logic. So, where is the logical gap? When this model was launched, the expectation that was made seems logical. That okay, if there are homes that do not already have a PC, maybe they are not buying it for price reasons. So a computer which costs significantly less than the other should be an attraction, and these households may get motivated to buy that PC. So this expectation was logical. Contrast is a fact. We know that Ketrovian households without PC are not likely to buy this new PC. Now, when we jump from this contrast to this conclusion, the information in the contrast was about Ketrovian homes without PC. And the conclusion that has been made is about all Ketrovian homes, number of computers in all Ketrovian homes. So now just think about it. If we talk about all Ketrovian households, they include households that already have a PC, and they include households that do not have a PC. The information that is given to us is about these households, that these are not likely to buy the new PCs. However, we have not been given any information about households that already have a PC. So this is a jump here based on the information about households without PC, that is, based on information about just one segment, a conclusion has been drawn for this entire category without any information about this particular segment. This is the logical gap here. Now, in conclusion questions, it is important to understand the conclusion as well as the negated conclusion. So the conclusion here is introducing the new model is unlikely to increase the number of computers in Ketrovian homes. So the negated conclusion would be introducing the new model is likely to increase the number of computers in Ketrovian homes. With this, let's move to update our bridge table. So if your understanding of the passage logic was correct and complete, mark a tick here. But if you missed anything while understanding the passage, if you missed anything or misunderstood anything, mark a cross here and write down exactly what did you miss. Then, if your understanding of the conclusion was correct and complete, mark a tick here. Otherwise, if you missed anything about the conclusion, what is the conclusion talking about? If you confuse the number of computers with the sales of computers or anything or any other misunderstanding, mark across here and write down the exact reason here. So, what should a correct answer choice for an assumption question convey? You all know that assumption is must be true, which means that if the assumption is not true, the conclusion will fail. So, what is the assumption doing? The assumption is preventing the conclusion from breaking. That is what we can understand from the must be true characteristic of assumption. It is preventing the conclusion from breaking, which means that if there is any situation in which the conclusion can break, one correct assumption will make sure that this situation does not happen. That is how it will prevent the conclusion from breaking, by making sure that a situation in which the conclusion can break does not happen. So, in other words, a correct assumption eliminates one condition under which the conclusion would fail. And this is one of the characteristics. This is something that the correct answer choice for an assumption question will convey. A correct assumption will first of all eliminate one condition under which the conclusion will break. The second thing is that it will bring in a new piece of information. A correct assumption never restates something that is given in the passage, and it does not tell you something that can already be inferred from the passage. So these are the two characteristics of the correct assumption, and based on these two characteristics, we now know what the correct answer choice should convey. So the negated conclusion here is introducing the new model is likely to increase the number of computers in Ketrovian homes. So what will the correct answer choice convey? The correct answer choice will eliminate one condition, which conveys that introducing the new model is likely to increase the number of computers in Ketrovian homes. See how we have replaced the negated conclusion here. And we are saying that the correct answer choice will eliminate one condition which conveys that introducing the new models is likely to increase the number of computers in Ketrovian homes. And the correct answer choice, this correct answer choice will bring in a new piece of information. So if you pre-think, the steps are simple for you. You have to think about a situation which conveys that introducing the new model is likely to increase the number of computers in Ketrovian homes and say that that situation will not happen. For example, if we say that Ketrovian households that already have a computer are likely to buy this new PC. This is a condition under which the conclusion will break because the number of computers in Ketrovian homes would increase. So this is a condition in which the conclusion would break. So the correct assumption will say that this will not happen. And this is a new piece of information. So this is one of the correct assumptions here. You can think about more such scenarios. Now, even if you do not pre-think, you have a clear understanding of what to expect from the correct answer choice. If your understanding of what the correct answer choice needs to convey was correct, then mark a tick here. However, if you had any misunderstanding or you missed a step or you understood what the correct answer choice needs to convey incorrectly, if you had any misunderstanding there, mark a cross here and write down the exact reason. Now, you understand what the correct answer choice needs to convey. So let's evaluate each answer choice one by one and find out which one actually conveys the same. Choice A. Infotech achieved the lower price of the new model by using components of lower quality than those used by other manufacturers. So the first thing is to understand the meaning of this choice. This choice conveys how Infotech achieved the lower price of the new model, and that how is by using components of lower quality compared to the quality of components used by other manufacturers. All right. Now let's see if this choice, choice A, eliminates one condition which conveys that introducing the new model is likely to increase the number of computers in Ketrovian homes. How will we do that? We will negate choice A. Negated choice A is Infotech did not achieve the lower price of the new model by using components of lower quality than those used by other manufacturers. So, if the negated choice breaks the conclusion, it means that the original choice was presenting a condition under which the conclusion would fail, and the original choice was empty, right? It was must be true. So, it will be correct if it brings in a new piece of information. However, if the negated choice, this negated choice does not break the conclusion, it means that the original choice does not present a condition under which the conclusion would fail. So it is not MPT, and therefore it cannot be a correct assumption and we can reject it. So let's see if negated A breaks the conclusion. Negated A says Infotech did not achieve the lower price of the new model by using components of lower quality compared to those used by other manufacturers. Now, how Infotech achieved this low quality, or ruling out one possible way of achieving this lower price of the new PC, does not break the conclusion. It does not impact the conclusion at all. Does not impact the conclusion. Whether Infotech used lower quality of components or it produced it in a large number in using a more efficient process, whatever is the reason, whatever is the way in which Infotech achieved this lower price, does not impact the conclusion. Therefore, this information that Infotech did not achieve the lower price of the new model in this way does not break the conclusion, right? It does not break the conclusion. So this case is applicable. It means the original choice is not MPT, and therefore we can reject choice A here itself. We do not need to check for this new character, for this second characteristic. We can reject choice A because it is not must be true. Now, if you selected choice A, let's update the bridge table. Let's understand why you selected the incorrect answer choice. The first thing is, did you understand the meaning of choice A? What does choice A convey? If you did not understand the meaning of choice A, then mark a cross here and write down the reason. Did you rush through, or was there something because of which you got confused, or whatever was the reason why you could not understand the meaning of choice A? Even if you missed step A, this particular step, you missed understanding the meaning of choice A. Then gauge the alignment is the second step. That is, did you match that choice A actually conveys what the correct answer choice needs to convey? If you did not do that, then this is the reason why you got this question incorrect. And this is a learning for you, that you have to always gauge the alignment between the choice that you are evaluating and what the correct answer choice needs to convey. Let's move to choice B now. The main reason cited by consumers in Ketrovia, so we are talking about the main reason given by consumers in Ketrovia for replacing a personal computer. So this is the reason given by consumers in Ketrovia for replacing a personal computer, and that reason is the desire to have an improved model. So let's check for each of these 2 points one by one. Let's check if this choice eliminates one condition which conveys that introducing the new model is likely to increase the number of computers in Ketrovian homes. How will we do that? We will negate choice B. So negated choice B is the main reason cited by consumers in Ketrovia for replacing a personal computer is not, it is not the desire to have an improved model. Now, whether this main reason cited by consumers in Ketrovia for replacing a personal computer is this or it is something else, does that break the conclusion? Does that convey that with the new model, the number of computers in Ketrovian homes will increase? Does that convey in any way? No. The reason given to replace a personal computer, or the actual reason for replacing a personal computer, does not in any way indicate that this number of computers will increase. And that is why this negated B does not break the conclusion, which means that original choice is not must be true and it can be rejected. So choice B is also incorrect. Now, if you selected choice B, please go back to your bridge table and update your bridge table to explain why you selected this incorrect answer choice. With this, let's move to choice C. Choice C says Ketrovians in households that already have computers. Now we are talking about Ketrovians in households that already have at least one computer are unlikely to purchase the new Infotech model as an additional computer for home use. So this choice is talking about Ketrovians in households that already have at least one computer, and it says that such people, such Ketrovians, are not likely to purchase additional computers or to purchase this new personal computer model as additional computer for home use. All right, this is what choice C conveys. Let's check if it eliminates one condition which breaks the conclusion. So we will negate choice C, and the negated choice is Ketrovians in households that already have computers are likely to purchase the new Infotech model as an additional computer for home use. So with negated choice C, we see that households that already have computers, they are likely to purchase this new model, which means that if there were, let's say, 100, and let me write it clearly, number of computers in Ketrovian homes, if it was 100, and then if we look at negated C, we get to see that Ketrovians in households that already have computers will buy additional computers. So what will be the impact? The number of computers in Ketrovian homes will be likely to increase. And that is how this will break the conclusion, which means that original choice C is must be true, and if it brings in new information, it will be correct. So if we check choice C, does it bring new piece of information? Yes. Choice C conveys something about Ketrovians in households that already have computers, and that is not something that the passage already tells us. So it brings in a new piece of information, and it eliminates one condition which breaks the conclusion, and that is why choice C is the correct answer choice. Now, if you rejected choice C, that is the correct answer choice, you need to examine why you rejected it. Go back to your analysis, your thought process, and understand why you rejected it. The possible causes can lie here in these steps, or maybe you did not understand the meaning, or you did not evaluate, you did not look for the correct characteristics when you were evaluating choice C. Whatever is the reason, mark that reason here. That is the reason why you rejected the correct answer choice. With that, let's move to choice D now. Choice D. The price of other personal computers in Ketrovia is unlikely to drop below the price of Infotech's new model in the near future. So this choice is presenting a likelihood, or rather it is saying that something is unlikely. What is unlikely? That the price of other personal computers will drop below the price of the new model. This is unlikely. This will not happen most probably. That is what choice D is saying. So let's see if it eliminates any condition that breaks the conclusion. So we will negate choice D. How will we negate it? Negated choice D will be the price of other personal computers in Ketrovia is likely to drop below the price of Infotech's new model in the near future. Now, does negated choice D break the conclusion? The answer is no. Even if price of other personal computers falls below the price of this new model, if people are not buying PC for if they are not concerned with the price of PC and they don't want to buy it regardless of its price, the conclusion will not break. And that is why choice D, negated choice D, does not break the conclusion. That is why original choice D is not must be true, and that is why we can reject choice D without checking for this second characteristic. So choice D is incorrect. If you selected choice D, please update your table, bridge table for choice D. Let's come to choice E now. Choice E says most personal computers purchased in Ketrovia are intended for home use. So it is talking about most means greater than 50%. So more than 50% of the personal computers that are purchased in Ketrovia, the intention for that purchase is to use these personal computers at home. That is what choice E says. Let's negate choice E. Most personal computers purchased in Ketrovia are not intended for home use. Now, does negated choice E break the conclusion? Does it anyway convey that introducing the new model is likely to increase the number of computers in Ketrovian homes? No. The intent of purchasing most of the computers is not related to increase or reduction, any increase or any reduction in the number of computers purchased. So again, negated choice E does not break the conclusion, and therefore choice E is not must be true. and therefore we can reject choice E.
So we are done with this question now, and you have your updated bridge table that tells you what kind of mistakes you made in this question. Hope you will be able to take the corrective actions for these mistakes and not repeat these mistakes in the other questions. If you need any help deciding the corrective actions, do let us know.